Greetings in the Lord. Back in 1976, in the midst of a big spiritual crisis that I was undergoing, I was given some advice by one of my professors up there, Dr. Ewart Cousins. He was a teacher at Fordham University. And he told me there's a big difference between your true self and your false self. Well, at the time, that didn't make any sense to me at all. Probably doesn't make any sense to you either. It seemed like a kind of spiritual schizophrenia. But the fact is, we all have many sub-personalities. Dr. Karen Horney puts it this way. She says, first of all, we have a real self, and that is the self that we are in the mind of God. That is the beautiful part of us. That is perfect. That is Christ within us. That can't be improved on. In addition, we have the actual self that represents the individualized package of healthy and unhealthy tendencies that all of us have inside ourselves. This just means that all of us are unfinished, all of us are in process. In addition, we have the despised self. This is the self of the shoulds and the oughts. This is the self that we love to beat up on. Finally, we have the idealized self. This is the self that we've always dreamed we could be. This is the self that is characterized by delusions of grandeur. This is the Walter Mitty personality within us all. In conversion, we need to turn away from all of those false parts of our personality. That means, first of all, we need to turn away from the idealized self. That needs to go. This Walter Mitty idea of who we are is usually based on a lot of pride and ego run wild. That definitely needs to be repented of and turned away from. Secondly, and this is a little more subtle, we also need to turn away from our despised self. That's a little more subtle because of the fact that this sometimes masquerades as humility when we beat ourselves up. In reality, it's nothing more than another kind of pride. We also need to disidentify from the real self. This is a little trickier because we have perfection inside ourselves. We have Christ within us, but yet we are not totally that reality yet. We have a treasure within our earthen vessels, as the scripture says. Mental and spiritual health only comes, however, when we accept the real self, the self that is. This is the good news of the gospel, that we are loved exactly as we are. When we accept this truth, then we experience a tremendous release of energy and the ability, with God's grace, to be fully human and fully alive.